I saw this reading and it was like, for you, you have like the opposite problems of other people. And I like deeply resonated with that because when it comes to me and psychicism, I know some people really struggle to connect with spirits and divine energies. I actually really struggle to like sever those connections and like exist outside of channeling. You know, it's a risk you have with invocation that you can become possessed by an energy. And sometimes it's hard for me to kind of recognize that type of soul possession because it's so persistent. And also, the energy is like sympathetic to my needs and desires. And again, a lot of the energies I've worked with since I was a child, right? Um, but it's like one of those energies where like I'm finding myself like coming out of like a really persistent, intense channel, and the goal of that was to like get me to a place of safety. And I think it's a like PTSD, CPTSD thing where like the real struggle is like not necessarily like finding those positions of safety, but like anchoring into the reality of that safety. And like from a more cosmic quantum leap perspective, it's not the difficulty of making quantum leaps. I'm really good at that. But my struggle is like after I've leapt into that reality, nesting into it instead of just moving on to another. And it's like a very difficult process of like finding stillness and then also like returning to self. Um, yeah, there's this energy of like, I really fucking love myself, bro. Um, I know some people struggle with the self love journey. Um, I really am like trying to focus on making sure that like when I am like in this self energy, I still feel comfortable coming forward because it's like a tricky thing, right? And something that I'm caring less and less about the more I move on with life because like honestly, who gives a fuck? That like people sometimes associate me with some of the energies I work with, and it like I get a lot of like mixed messaging. It's like it's okay to drop that mask. It's okay to be yourself. People want to see you for who you are, and the reality for me is that like I'm not like just one thing. I'm like a lot of different energies. And it's part of what like kind of makes connection difficult for me sometimes is because most people are so used to like conforming to like one identity, or they only possess one identity, so it makes sense for them to like return to themselves. And I think I'm kind of like exploring the possibility that there is one identity that is myself, that can be returned to. But it also, and it really has to do with like the energetic draw of like what it means, right? To be me. And it's like this energy of like the version of myself that I'm kind of aligned with right now feels pretty dead, bro. And that makes sense because I had so many near death experiences. Um, but I feel like it's a type of chill I'm happy to kind of rest in. I'll be posting the last Terrorwind show live I did. I'm moving towards a different model with it where I'm running collective readings for all the signs, and then in between and after I might feel called to like answer some questions that come in. And the questions that come in, I'll do like yes or no's if you like interact with the stream. And then if you want to do like a mini reading on the live, that'll be like $11. But if you want to have like a more full reading, that'll be $33 for the private. And I really like that because it's going to allow me to kind of like accept the energy that I'm in, and like I can still kind of like maintain a focus on that without having to go in and out of so many energies. Um, at like the pace that I was doing before, I feel like it's a little quieter, and I'm kind of like on an acceptance of a quieter energy because I feel like um, the energy that I was in before my life became so like chaotic was pretty chill, you know. Occasionally I might pop up with a joke here and there, but I feel like the jester like sometimes just like takes over the energy. Um I said it before, like I had like a lot of different brands going on. I was like performing spoken word in my community and it was actually starting to blow up. I was an IT person and stuff like that. I was a silly guy with my friends and stuff, but it just so happened that my silly guy account was the one that kind of blew up. And it was like a strange energy of like, do I have to be this silly all the fucking time now? And like for the bullshit that I was on, yeah, I did need to be on silly shaman energy 24/7, bro. Because, bruh. But when I was doing the collective reading, when I landed on Pisces, it was like, Pisces, you gotta chill with this main character energy. That is not for you. And like, I have like a well aspected Pisces placement in my chart, and I was like, bitch, I'm gonna take this one from me. Because it's like one of those things where it's like, I feel like my main character energy is like generally far more subtle than how it's been pronounced in the past, and there's a level of like wanting to turn it up for social media, but I've also decided that I'm going to turn it down for social media because no. And I don't know if it's just that like um it might be hormonal because I'm starting estrogen again, because there was like so much of like my body chemistry that was just fucking off based off of all like the procedures and like health fucking bullshit that I had to deal with, that like now that things are kind of like getting back on track, there is an ability to kind of like nestle into like a more chill vibration, and my environment supports that too. So every now and then I do get hype, and I'm like, let's go, high energy, let's fucking crush it. um but like I don't feel like it's as necessary as it was previously, and like it's not something that I like have to do as much, so I'm not going to. But like every now and then, like there is a joke, and I definitely do want to invoke the Garth Godot energy, because this is the Garth Godot account. But like the vibes are shifting, and I mean, I would say it's neither a good or bad thing. It just is. But I did feel like I wanted to just yap about it a little bit. Because like the last live, people were like, "Dude, your energy is so chill," and it's like, yeah, I used to be chill, bro, until I had to like summon the jester gods of new and old to support me through a path of divine chaos and to secure a place of stability for myself. And now that the stability stands, I'm going to allow myself to be a little bit more flexible. And I know sometimes when people say that, oh, I'm going to be more flexible, they get a little bit more silly. But for me, it's the opposite. I'm going to be flexible, and I'm just going to like sit down, and I feel like y'all are still going to love it because it's fucking me, because I'm that girl. I'm that goddess. I'm that guy. I'm that king. And it's Pride Month, bitch. Bitch.